Welcome back to Norbert's Adventures. So this week has been a very busy week for me. So I've got a new tank that we set up recently. We went to an auction yesterday, which was kind of interesting because that was for a aquarium store that went under. And also got a new racking system which will be set up soon. So it's going to be a very busy week going forward as well. So yeah, obviously this week's been interesting. So the update with the Super Reds, we got a delivery in last Tuesday, I think it was, of bits and bods from a shrimp breeder that basically sold up his fish setup in Sydney. Had a whole bunch of Zist breeding boxes and a whole bunch of extra added shrimp products, such as like the pot plant holders for the side of the tanks, some plates, and obviously some leftover food and such. But the Zist breeding boxes were the ones I was really after. I've actually cleaned them up and thrown them into one of them into my Super Red tank, which now has the first batch of Super Reds in them, which is going really well. They've actually grown reasonably quickly as well, so a few of them have almost hit 2 centimeters. The second batch of Super Reds are now in a normal aquarium, a normal Aqua One breeder box. There's probably about 100 in there. I spent a little while catching them last week as well. Took about an hour and a half to catch all of them. I think I missed some as well, so obviously I'll have to go back and try and get some more when I can find them. As for the lemons, they're doing well as well. I haven't set up the second Zist box for those yet, as there wasn't as many as there was Super Reds. So they're in the normal Aqua One breeder box as well. For the peppermints, they're also now in a Zist breeder box. We got sent some of those last week as well. So we set up both of those into one of the peppermint tanks out the front area. Now that's got all, say, 70 growing really well. There are no issues, no skinny stomachs, nothing. So that's hopefully a good sign for coming forward. The 2 males have been sitting in front of their caves in that tank, fanning for a few weeks now. So hopefully something will trigger again and we can get some more breeding. But until then, let's just wait and see. So a bit more of an update for you regarding the fish room. The red tuxedo kois I've got in here have also had kids recently, so there's another 50 odd fry swimming around in that tank. Obviously the 24 karat gold in that tank as well have had kids, so that's interesting to watch them grow up as well. Regarding the shrimp wise, the snowballs, I've got 3 buried. The tangerine tigers, I've got a few of the females buried as well. Over the last week as well, we've noticed that the red bolts now have a female that is buried, so in the next month hopefully that should drop some of those nice red bolts. We've also got the painted reds in that tank as well, which thankfully there is another one in there that is buried. So a lot of shrimp at the moment are getting into the season of breeding. Obviously my yellows and my sun-kissed cherries are still going nuts. I haven't seen my blue bolts breed yet. I've got about 30 in there. And obviously my snow whites still haven't seen anything. I got rid of 10 recently as well, so close shrimp friend of mine wanted some, so I gave him them. The yellow King Kongs are still doing alright. The black cherries are still hiding as per usual. I had some ivory mystery snails hatch recently as well, so I got another tank that's set up with about 5 mystery snails from a guy from WA. They had the blue mystery snail gene in them as well as the ivory. So I tried to see if I could get some. Obviously had two clutches and they've hatched. Looks like there's some in there now, so I'll have to see as they grow up. But the best sign about it is that there's another clutch, so progress moving forward. Hopefully there's more. As for the other snails and such, nothing's really moving too well. There's a lot of golden mystery snails because they breed profusely. All my guppies are still popping out kids, but I think most of them are all coming to age now, so they're starting to get sold to their forever homes, which is good. But haven't had any issues so far, so it's getting there slowly. So yesterday I went to an auction which was held at the Aqua Gold Aquarium on the north side of the city in Adelaide. It was a store that was run by someone that apparently wasn't paying rent, or I'm not too sure about the story behind it, but basically the landlord changed the locks or something and put everything in the store for auction. So I went there yesterday with I was going to go there with a few other breeders. I ended up just meeting up someone there and obviously meeting a few other people there from the north side of the city. They started off with basically the signs and then ended up all the way back to the rack systems that held obviously the livestock. It ended up being a long day. I got there about 10:30. I think I left about 3 p.m. I obviously succeeded to getting what I wanted in the end. So I was after some food that was being sold cheap for my Oscars, as well as some of the stuff for my guppies and my bottom feeders. In the end, I ended up walking away with a lot more than I was hoping for, which, hey, it happens. But I'm glad I did. Obviously now I can start looking forward and moving it on to people I know. I've already obviously helped out my younger brother who looks after turtles. I've helped out my mother who does the peppermints, and I've also helped out a few other breeders that I know with a few things. But basically with Shrimp King, I've got a whole bunch of that stuff that I need moving forward soon. I've got a whole bunch of Hakari stuff as well, which I'm hopefully giving to a breeder friend of mine as well. So it's been good. A lot of the extreme force stuff, also the extreme aquatic food, a lot of the nano stuff I'll be using for my guppies moving forward as well. But yeah, the aquarium auction was a bit different, as I've never been to one of those auction style things before. They moved a lot quicker than I thought they were going to. There was a little bit of confusion in some points of the thing because it was obviously online as well as in-person bidding. A lot of the places around Adelaide, the aquarium stores were there as well. There was obviously people from Marine Plus, people from up north, and there was also people from A1 aquariums up north as well. Didn't see any from anyone from Aztec, or don't think I saw anyone from Seaview, but I could be wrong. The Great Amazon guy was there as well, so it was a variety of people, all coming from different sort of specialties as well. A lot of the tanks went for medium good prices, I guess. A lot of the sort of stock went really well as well. Food I managed to get, which was good. But another shrimp friend of mine ended up walking away with a few different water boxes and a low-lying tank with filters and such. And he was really happy with that. A few other people walked away with protein skimmers for marine tanks that were like $200, and they're worth like $1,000. As a few other lights and such went as well. I think I ended up getting 2 Beams work lights, which were the 120 centimeter ones, which I'm going to be putting over my Mark Guppy tank to replace the T8s I've still run. But yeah, overall it was a different experience and I very enjoyed it. Moving forward, I've got a lot of work to do to move this food or use it for the tanks. I got to obviously catalogue it and see what I'm going to do with it. But yeah, it's very happy with the outcome. Next week I'll be setting up a new rack system I bought over the last week. Found out my stand that I have for my 4-foot tank with the tetras and such in it is a bit wobbly, which is not the best thing to have a 4-foot tank on, as I've got some higher grade shrimp in the bottom of that rack as well. Also this stand, I'm going to move it all off to a rack and obviously have more space for more tanks. Was a bit of a decision I had to make. It was going to be a long drawn out process to get it done, but I ended up going with a 917 high racket system, and it's 1876 centimeters wide, I think it is. So obviously the 4-foot tank would fit, and I could probably fit another 2-foot tank, which I'm hoping I can, to use as a grow out tank for the super reds and the lemons as they grow up past the fry stage, obviously. Obviously with the shrimp as well, the more space I have at the bottom, I can add more tanks there and split up some of the higher grades and all the carradinas and the neo-carradinas to different tanks. Because at the moment I'm running like the green jades with the blue bolts, and sometimes green jades like throwing blues. So it gets a bit confusing, but if I do that, it'll be easier for me. As well as like the sun-kissed, I've got the black King Kongs in there, but obviously orange and black, completely different. You can tell the difference, but I'm hoping if I move them separate, I can probably get the black King Kongs or the blue bolts to breed. Even then, I might move the crystal reds or the crystal blacks into a new tank as well, as I haven't found them breeding yet. Which is funny enough, because I can get the tangerines to berry and breed, but I can't get the CRSs or the CBSs to breed, which apparently is very confusing to other people. But hey, I have managed to do it, so it is what it is. Well, that's all I got for this week. I do apologise for being a day late. Like I said, I was at the auction yesterday, so I didn't get around to completing all the footage I needed. But always, like and subscribe, leave comments, questions down in the section below. If you need to know anything, you can always message me as well. So, have a good one.